Let me try from the first to indicate the point that we're aiming at. The point is this, that human consciousness is at the same time as being a form of awareness, sensitivity, and understanding. It's also a form of ignorance. The ordinary, everyday consciousness that we have leaves out more than it takes in. And because of this, it leaves out things that are terribly important. It leaves out things that would, if we did know them, allay our anxieties and fears and horrors. And if we could extend our awareness, you see, to include those things that we leave out, we would have a deep interior peace. That is absolutely basic for all human beings is, what have you left out? You are focused on certain things that constitute what you call everyday reality. You single out people. You see them sitting all around. And you know there are things that are really there. And then behind the people are the houses or whatever we live in, and the earth, and behind all that the sky, and so on. I might say to you, my goodness, you all forgot something. What did you forget? Forget. See, everybody's forgotten something. And so I can bring this out, what you've forgotten, if I ask you, who are you? fundamentally, deep, deep inside, let's put it that way, is an act of, a function of, a performance of, a manifestation of the works. The whole blinking cosmos, with all its galaxies, and forever and ever and ever, whatever it is beyond that. What you might call God in the Western tradition, or Brahman in Hindu philosophy, or Tao in Chinese. Every one of us is really that, but we are pretending we aren't. And we are pretending with tremendous skill and deception. What I would call a really swinging human being is a person who lives on two levels at once. He's able to live on the level of being his ordinary ego, his everyday personality, and play his role in life and observe all the rules and so on that go with that. But if he's only on that level, if he's only playing that kind of thing, and thinks that's all there is, it becomes a drag. And he starts being the kind of person who feels that he's just got to go on surviving. And he works at that. And his children learn the same attitude from him. And they, he says, well, I've got to survive because I've got all these children I've got to support, and so on and so forth. And then they take the same attitude. They breed up children, and they feel compulsive about supporting them, because they've got to go on. And so nobody really has any fun. It's just, we've got to make this thing, you see? And you don't have to. See, whenever I get somebody who comes to me and says, I really can't go on and I have to commit suicide, I say, well, that's entirely, you're right. There's really no reason why you should go on, and if you want to commit suicide, do it. You can check out. Of course, this reduces anxiety. When they feel free to commit suicide, they don't really have to commit suicide so much. You can commit partial suicide. So, the sense that you just have to go on living, see, that life is a must. We leave out of our everyday consciousness generally speaking, two dimensions of experience. One, amazing beauty of experience that we never see at all. And on the other hand, the very deep thing, the sense of our basic identity, unity with, oneness with the total process of being. When you lose sight of the fact that the order principle and the random principle go together, that's exactly the same predicament as losing sight of the fact that all individually delineated things and beings are connected underneath. Just like mountains stick out of the earth and there's the fundamental earth underneath them. So all of us, as different things, we stick out of reality. and there's a continuity underneath, but you ignore that, you see? That's the thing that's left out. Really, deep down, we are, each one of us, everything that there is. Doing it this way, and then again that way, and then again another way.
All this is taking place in your head.
see, here's that weaving principle. The things hold together by over, under, over, under, under. And that creates a stuff, it creates a fabric, it creates clothing, it creates shelter, it creates what we call matter. Matter, mater, mother, and also the same word, maya, illusion. See, the world as a marvelous illusion.
You don't have the advantage because it's your dream. And somehow then waking up happens, and then you're in this one. And then you forget that dream, like you did forget this state when you entered dream. Then you come in this space. Then you say, now I'm back to reality. But you could have been also having discussions about reality in your dream. It's a clue. All these things are in your head. The water is wet, the air is fresh. All these things can happen in your dream. So, what makes this one more real? There's also a waking up from this state also. There's an awakening even within this state also. The basic earth, there's one earth, but there are millions of worlds. In each body, a unique world is present. We live in a world of feelings, emotion, thought, conditioning, projection, desire, attachment. All of these flavor our world. And in the same way that you go to sleep, or you may dream, but no one else you can share your dream. just means seeing with your fleshly eyes, but seeing through understanding, through pure perception or colored perception, but mostly the perception is colored. We spice it up to make it a unique experience. We are sentimentalizing everything you see. So how can it be a common world? It's the most uncommon world for each one.
The thing is that we have been educated to use our minds in a certain way. A way that ignores or screens out the fact that every one of us is an aperture through which the whole cosmos looks out. You see, it's as if you had a light covered with a black ball, and in this ball were pinholes. And each pinhole is an aperture through which the light comes out. So in that way, every one of us is actually a pinhole through which the fundamental light, that is the existence itself, looks out.